Breaking right now, Harry and Meghan Markle's surrogacy scandal has entered the mainstream media domain. Now, this story may have been somewhat overshadowed this week by the duplicitous duo's disgusting disaster tourism, but it really must be talked about. I've got Lady Colin Campbell with me. She has been completely responsible for exploding this story into the public's consciousness, and finally the MSM is starting to catch up. But before we get her verdict, let me take you through the story broken by Radar Online. And I have to give credit for Radar Online here. They are being brave because remember, the mainstream media all know about this. They just have decided not to talk about it. So Radar Online writes, Prince Harry and his clout-chasing wife Meghan Markle are being rocked by a surrogacy scandal, said sources, who added the diva's very own dad is casting doubt on the birth of the couple's son, Archie. Now, of course, that is as a result of the interview that Samantha Markle gave here on Outspoken, revealing Thomas Markle's true feelings about this. But Radar Online says that Buckingham Palace is being pressured to remove Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet from the UK's royal line of succession until the Duchess provides absolute proof that she popped out both babies herself, Radar Online can reveal. Now, here's where it gets very significant because a high-level palace courtier is quoted by Radar Online. And I want to read this out to you because it really is significant. So this high-level palace courtier tells Radar Online, this scandal comes as no surprise. Speculation about the children has been simmering for years. The kids are 6th and 7th in line to the throne, but have been under cloak and dagger secrecy since they were born. There are so many questions swirling around them. This crisis won't die down until the irrefutable truth comes out.
This story has been floating around in the background for years. Whispers about whether Meghan actually gave birth to Archie and Lilibet. But now, for the first time, it's entered the mainstream media thanks to a bold report by Radar Online. Here's the bombshell. According to sources, there's growing pressure on Buckingham Palace to remove Harry and Meghan's children from the royal line of succession unless Meghan can provide absolute proof that she gave birth to them herself. We're talking about constitutional implications here, folks. And let's be honest. If this were any other royal, the media would have been all over it. But because it's Meghan Markle, the media has been tiptoeing around the issue.
Wow, Lady Colin Campbell, look, I know this is only Radar Online at this point, and Radar Online have been very brave when it comes to reporting the truth about Prince Harry and Meghan in the mainstream media sphere. But this, to me, still feels significant. It still feels like a real push forward because, of course, for some time, you were the only person talking about the surrogacy scandal at all.
Dan, are you trying to put me in the line of fire or are you praising me? I'm not sure whether this is...
You're off to the tower, Lady C. You're off to the tower. Well, look, Radar Online, in fairness, they do quote you and say Royal author Lady Colin Campbell recently challenged the conspiracy of silence and misinformation surrounding both tots.
Well, yes. I mean, Dan, you and I have spoken about this privately, so you know my sentiments on the matter. And also, I have been in touch over the years as a result of the public coming to me about this. Behind the scenes, and I need to be very careful how I put this and what I say, because I don't want to breach any protocols, let's put it that way. But I mean, this has been simmering behind the scenes for some time. And my own sentiment is very simple. The royal family owes it to the public of each and every country of which the king is monarch, to clear up any doubts about anybody in the line of succession. Meghan's conduct is what has triggered all of this. Oh, Archie doing a deep dive between the knees, Archie competing with Tom Daley before he was even even given birth to. Archie's unique qualities. And we need to remember that Archie was truly unique because his first word was crocodile. And Archie, of course, was the product of a union that maritally started when they were roasting chicken. And I leave it at that. But what I will go back to say, in terms without giving too much levity to their Harry and Meghan's really crazed behavior. And I do not, yes, isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? That bump had more air in it than the fantasies that Meghan and Harry go around divesting themselves of in their 16 bathrooms.
Now let's be clear. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. But the fact that this story has been covered up for so long, and now even the palace is being forced to address it, that's a sign that something doesn't add up. Here's where it gets even more interesting. For the first time ever, a high-ranking Buckingham Palace courtier has spoken out, granted through an anonymous source. But still, this is huge. The quote is chilling. Speculation about the children has been simmering for years. The kids are 6th and 7th in line to the throne, but have been under cloak and dagger secrecy since they were born. There are so many questions swirling around them. This crisis won't die down until the irrefutable truth comes out. Folks, the royal family doesn't comment on rumors lightly. The fact that they're even acknowledging this tells you how serious it's become. This isn't just tabloid gossip anymore. This is a constitutional issue. Now, love her or hate her, Lady Colin Campbell has been one of the loudest voices on this topic for years. And say what you will, but she's been ahead of the curve on a lot of royal scandals. Lady C claims that the mainstream media has been too afraid to touch this story, until now. Why? Because the media has been protecting Meghan Markle like she's some sort of untouchable figure. Meanwhile, people who ask legitimate questions get labeled as conspiracy theorists. But here's the thing, questions aren't conspiracies.
The fact of the matter is, from 1688 to the present, all royal births have been incontrovertibly correct. James II lost his throne as a result of the false rumors, incidentally, about the birth of his son and heir, James, Prince of Wales, who became James III, the king across the water. Ever since then, until 1936, all royal births had to be witnessed by the Home Secretary. After Princess Alexandra's birth, it was decided that the custom did not need to be continued because all royal births were still being witnessed by people who were incontrovertibly relied upon, and reputable. This did not happen with Archie or Lilibet's birth. The two births are shrouded in secrecy. The royal family has a duty actually the monarch has a duty. It's not the royal family, it's the monarch has a duty to ensure that there is no doubt as to the entitlement of each person who is closely in the line of succession and would therefore stand a possibility, no matter how remote, of acceding to the throne. It doesn't matter if you're the 57th in line to the throne, but it certainly does if you're the 5th, 6th, or 7th in line to the throne. And this is all very simply cleared up, as I have made the point privately, officially behind the scenes. Simply provide irrefutable proof from the obstetricians, the way every other royal birth's proof has been provided to the public, that those children were born of Meghan's body and they were conceived of her body as well. because until the law changes, if she used someone else's egg, even if she then housed it in her own body, those children are not entitled to be in the line of succession. They are too closely in the line of succession for this to continue. And this has been an issue behind the scenes for years now. When I wrote my first book, Meghan and Harry, The Real Story, in 2019 into 2020, I actually didn't believe what I was being told. A friend of mine was at Birkenhead on the 14th of January when Archie did his deep dive between Meghan's knees. And I thought, oh, this is crazy. This is lunatic stuff. And then I began to think, well, it's when I heard the internet was on about it. I thought, oh, they're all a load of crazies. But I'm afraid they're not a load of crazies. They were onto something long before all of us were. Now, I am not saying, and I need to say this for legal reasons.
If you're in the line of succession to the British throne, the public has a right to know the truth. This isn't about invading privacy. It's about transparency in the institution that represents the nation. And guess what? Now that the story is mainstream, suddenly those questions don't seem so crazy, do they? Now here's where it gets real. This isn't just about Meghan and Harry's personal choices. This is about the British monarchy itself. Archie and Lilibet are currently 6th and 7th in line to the throne. That's not some distant, irrelevant position. If something happened to the senior royals, they'd be next in line. So let's ask the tough questions. Are they constitutionally eligible to be in the line of succession? Has proper documentation been provided to confirm their birth status? Why has there been so much secrecy surrounding their births? In any constitutional monarchy, succession is a legal matter, not just a family issue. In fact, the Succession to the Crown Act outlines specific criteria for who can inherit the throne. Proof of birth and eligibility aren't optional, they're required. This isn't just about Meghan and Harry anymore. This is about the stability of the British monarchy.
That Meghan faked the birth and the pregnancy of those two children. What I am saying is, and I say this as a Jamaican and as a Briton, because the king is twice my king. So the line of succession is twice my line of succession, as it is with you. But it's not with everybody. But the fact of the matter is, so I'm doubly entitled to make this demand, that the proof be provided as it has been with every other royal birth, and clear up the rumours. The existence of the rumours do a great deal of damage to the respect that people have for the royal family and for the monarchy. And there is no excuse to think that this should be allowed to continue and that it should go away. This is not about never explain, never complain. By law, until 1936, every royal birth had to be witnessed by the Home Secretary. Since then, every birth has supposed to be witnessed validly by reputable practitioners. This and not only are those reputable practitioners the witnesses to the birth, they then sign off on the birth. It's happened with every royal baby, including Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie's babies. It's not happened with either Archie or Lily, and it needs to happen. They need to prove that those children are entitled to be in the line of succession. Meghan and Harry are not entitled to privacy in this matter, and their privacy is trumped by our right to know that no bastard is going to sit on the throne of this country. And the bastard term, by the way, is a legal term. So I'm using the term in the true legal meaning of it. And it's as simple as that. They need to clear up, and it's very simple. If those children were not born of surrogates, they can make an announcement and the whole issue is put to bed once and for all. And if they fail to make that announcement, it means that something has happened that should not have happened, and they need to clear it up sooner rather than later. And if they don't, they are derelict in their duty. They being Harry and Meghan. They are derelict to their family. They are derelict to the nations of which those children are in the line of succession. And they are derelict to those children themselves, because Harry complains about the fact that his paternity has been questioned, but Harry is perfectly happy for his children's maternity to be questioned.
Let's talk about the Markle family because, like it or not, they've been part of this saga from the start. Samantha Markle recently gave an interview where she claimed that their father, Thomas Markle, has doubts about the birth of Archie. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Oh, they're just bitter family members trying to cash in. But hold on. Why would Thomas Markle, Meghan's own father, question something so personal unless he had real concerns? Thomas isn't some random internet troll. He's the guy who raised Meghan. He knows her better than most people. So when he speaks, it matters. And think about it. If this was all nonsense, wouldn't Meghan have just shut it down with a simple statement or proof? Instead, she stays silent while the story grows. Now here's where I get really fired up. Why has the mainstream media been so silent on this issue? Why has it taken Radar Online and people like Dan Wootton and Lady Colin Campbell to bring it to light? The answer is simple: media bias. The same outlets that were happy to destroy Prince Andrew, rightfully so, and criticize every move made by Kate Middleton suddenly turn into Meghan Markle's personal PR team when it comes to tough questions. This isn't about protecting privacy. It's about protecting a narrative. And when the media starts choosing sides instead of reporting the facts, we all lose. But now, thanks to independent journalists and alternative media, people are starting to wake up.
This is outrageous, irresponsible conduct. And I can only think that the only reason why they are allowed to get away with it is that people know or consider them to be drug-addled and therefore not responsible for their actions. But the fact of the matter is the royal family is responsible to us, the British people, and the people of all the other realms of which the king is head of state and of which those children are in the line of succession to. It's as simple as that.
I want to just go back to, I mean, beautifully put, by the way, incredibly put. I could listen to you all day, but I just want to go back to the Radar Online report in regards to this, because they bring up a point which, again, we have discussed before, but I think this is now very important now that it's coming into the mainstream media. And it's about the fact that in Spare, Prince Harry crowed, "Within 2 hours of our son being born, we were back at Frogmore." And now I'm going to quote the courtier, and this is why this story is so significant, because it's a courtier speaking directly to Radar Online, who tells the publication that raised many eyebrows and questions. How many women give birth and are home in 2 hours? That didn't make sense unless Meghan didn't deliver the child herself. Now, I know obviously we've spoken in lots of detail, and remember, I reported it at the time and posed a whole load of questions about the mystery surrounding the birth. But the fact is, Lady C, this is elevated because this is a courtier raising those questions now in the American mainstream media.
And for Meghan and Harry? Well, the days of hiding behind privacy are over. The public wants answers. Do you think Meghan Markle's surrogacy scandal is real? Should the royal family be forced to release the truth? Or is this all just media hype? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video.